Alrighty, everybody. Greetings. Tonight was round 3 of the October Tuesday night Swish! It's basketball season. At the Boylston Chess Foundation, of course. Initially, my opponent was supposed to be Zachary Sylvain or something to that extent. Not that I really do, research or opposition looking up, but I did look up or try to my opponent. Couldn't really find anything. But lo and behold, the pairings, not shockingly, when I got there, had been changed on me. And I was matched against my old buddy, Justin Guerra. I say that because Justin beat me months ago. I played a London, which I deeply regretted. And lo and behold, I get white again, and this is my time to avenge my previous loss. A little bit of a note as well. I would be remiss if I didn't mention it here, but very sadly, the thing that I've been alluding to in the previous videos, as far as not really sleeping at all, keeping me up, was that my cat, who I love very much, and had since a kitten, I had to euthanize her last night. So, needless to say, I wasn't really thinking much about chess. Anyway, even just talking about it really hurts. But, so the last month of chess, I have not slept really more than 4 hours a night. She'd been quite sick. So, in a way, maybe next week and beyond, I'll be a little bit better rested. I decided to play because I just didn't want to be home anymore, and I wanted to play chess. I love chess, of course, and I thought that taking a bye just to wallow probably wouldn't be healthy. So anyway, I sit down, and Justin greets me, and the clocks were all set wrong to an hour. So this will come into play, by the way, so a little story time as well. I decide to fix it myself. I put in an hour 30, I put in bonus time 5, or so I think. And we'll get to why that matters. And then, I'm good to go. I'm proud of myself being able to set the clocks. I sit down, and it's Justin, and part of me is thinking, should I play non-D4? I know he's watched some of my videos. He knows what I play better than anyone who I've played, for the most part, I think. He's probably the one who's most familiar with my style, because I think he has watched a few games. But I decided, last time I went with a London, which was offbeat for me, just to kind of keep it basic. And I really have good results as white right now, so I thought to myself, fuck it, I'm going to just play my tried and true, and let's bring my A game and see what happens. I'm a D4, C4 player against almost everything. Almost. I mean, again, there's Benoni stuff, or there's Scandinavian. There's things that I wouldn't play C4, but against an Indian setup, Knight F6, I like D4, C4 best. So Justin plays typical move order. These are, I don't think I'm going to spend too much time, a terrible amount of time, talking about the opening, because first off, I'm not an opening theoretician. I'm not a grandmaster who knows things inside and out. I'm just a dude who's pretty decent, who knows these lines because I played them so much. Nonetheless, if there's something that is glaring or something that is horrible, do please tell me. But I have seen sort of this old Indian defense online very frequently. And the basic idea, what I'm thinking is I want to attack. Ideally, probably push this F-pawn. But let's get my pieces in the game. And big decision. Justin's style, for the record, is this dude plays the opening very quickly. He also gets up frequently. I alluded to this the first time, and I made a joke, sort of, that I said, I don't know if he was trying to rattle me. But then at the club, weeks later, or maybe even the next week, he said, yeah, I actually was trying to rattle people when I do that. This time I was prepared for it, so it didn't really work. But Justin did get a bit of a time edge early. He came back with that time edge. But early, he had a decent amount of advantage. And I'll tell you why. I'm playing these moves fast. He's playing his moves immediately. These are pretty standard moves. I mean, you're going to expect the bishop to g7. And here we go. And this was my first main decision. I end up playing e4, which is the best move book, but I also wanted to play e3. And I know that the two moves are totally fine. They're both book moves. I play a lot more e3, but that's normally because I don't have the opportunity to push e4 right away. e4 tends to be a little bit more attacking, a little bit more aggressive. And so I literally burned 10 minutes of my clock, knowing they're both good moves. And also, for the record, I was considering h3 here as well. Even g3 is a move to go into the Catalan, but I'm off the Catalan for a while because my results have been bad with it, for the record. So I was basically trying to decide between these moves. Now, the reality is all these moves are fine. They're all fine. I did play the best move, but it's just, I just probably shouldn't waste 10 minutes thinking about, playing this damn move. I know it's good. It's just, book moves. In fact, this is the totally normal KID. Anyway, I eventually bang out e4, and within 2 seconds, Justin castles. Again, he knows the theory. And he had mentioned that bishop e2 is normally the line, but so is bishop e3, so I feel like they're both very normal. I play or bishop d3 for the record. Like all these moves, yeah, I knew that they're all acceptable. Basically going either here or here. Anyway, I end up going bishop to d3. I forget why I chose that over bishop e2, over protecting the e4 pawn. Yeah, I forget why. But he then said that he had to take a little bit of time trying to figure out what to do against this as far as the move order. I don't think it matters much, but yeah. Anyway, apparently it's slightly more accurate to go bishop f2. Nonetheless, after a quick minute think, again, not wasting much time, my man fires away with knight c6, which is an excellent move according to the computer, but I thought that might. I don't know if that was like the most accurate. Like again, I have ideas of expanding, and immediately I'm thinking I probably want to attack his structure. Finchetto, we can take the space. Let's just enjoy a nice spatial advantage. Blah blah blah. But yeah, d5. So I was considering either d5 or castling. What do I do here? Oh, I play d5 next move. Okay, I have to castle, and then I play d5 next move, which hopefully it's still good. Hopefully I didn't. Apparently I've already playing a bit of inaccuracy. So that just sucks. Anyway, Justin strikes with e5, which is totally normal. He's trying to crack the center. The idea with this as well is I don't want to let him, because I don't want his bishop to be a good piece. I want it to be a bad piece. Normally, a lot of setups, I get black to castle on the queen side, and that's where I look to like seal the door with d5. It looks like taking is actually slightly better, interesting, and then they would take with the pawn, I guess. To kind of slam their own pawn in front of their bishop, which makes sense. I play the other move, which is quite good, which is d5. And my idea is pretty solid. I want to have a spatial advantage. I want to make his pieces bad, and I want to develop my own pieces. So it's all like typical, just, we're playing normal moves. I, the whole time, think I have a small edge, and let's not, worry too much. It looks like knight d4, sort of jumping it in, is more accurate. If he did that, I would have just traded. He would have played takes, and he would have kind of already had like a double pawn setup, where I would think that I would be able to immediately win the d-pawn, but I guess it's not so easy. But nonetheless, he plays back, knight e7, and it feels already like I just, oh nice, I'm going to play the best moves. Like I'm, again, getting what I want from the opening. I have a spatial advantage, my pieces have a little more scope, I'm ahead in development, and yeah, my plan's pretty easy. I want to play knight to d2, and then play f4, and then ideally f5, and crack him open this way. However, I take a small turn, I play the best move, where although I want to develop my dark square bishop, it's my only minor piece that hasn't been moved yet. And it's funny, because in the recap, Ben, who's a really nice guy, looked at it, he's like, ooh, I don't like this move, because it creates a hook. But I was pretty sure that h3 was the right move here. The reason why is he's got real problems developing his light square bishop. It's terrible. It doesn't really have anywhere it wants to go. Plus, I wanted to take away possible knight jumps to g4, which again would be a way for my man to open up his bishop. So anyway, I play h3, which I thought was like a good prophylactic move. Excellent, thank you very much. But in the recap, it is interesting. He pointed out that Ben didn't think that was a good move. But I stand by it. I like my logic. Even though I do understand that in some lines there are sacks. Like, I get it. I get it. Especially in Blitz. I get it. All right. Anyway, once I play h3, it's very clear that Justin's got to untangle his pieces, unravel them. Yeah, I mean, I thought over the board that I was enjoying a comfortable advantage. Like, this is white. I'm plus 0.5. It seems pretty solid. I have a plan as far as how to approach things, and he's got to untangle his pieces. He starts with knight d7, which is definitely one of the best moves here. So kudos. And yeah, and now I've got a real decision on my hands. I think I make a mistake here for the record, but all right. Let me walk through the things that I want to do. The common idea, by the way, is rook b1, but I jump a move, and I kind of understood my glaring error to an extent. He wants to jump his knight to c5, right? Ideally, maybe he trades with my bishop, although I don't think that's a big deal, because I don't think this bishop is such a star. I also want to play my knight to d2 with the idea of f4, but then I walk right into that, where then my bishop is under attack, I'd have to like back up, I don't really like that. Anyway, and of course I do want to get my dark square bishop off of this, off of its opening square. It's kind of like, opening theory. So I thought the best move in this position was b4, with the idea that I don't have to worry about this long-term diagonal because his pawns are stuffing him in, which is exactly what I want. And this move is getting me space. Like, I just have massive territorial advantage. And I'm taking away his idea, his plan, by slamming by he can't play knight c5. So based on all that, I thought to myself, damn, this has got to be a good move. Except it's not. And as soon as I played it, Justin wasted about 2 seconds, that's it, immediately playing the best move, a5. And I realize now the mistake of my ways. And, I mentioned there was one move where I was going to play e3 or e4 on move 5, where I took like 10 minutes. He has basically taken maybe 2 minutes total. He does get up and walk around, so that kind of wastes time. But I spent 15 minutes in this position. And the reason why is I realized the error of my ways, that my rooks aren't connected, so I can't play a3, because then that hangs a rook. I don't have the time. Like, I could play rook b1, but it's a little bit weaker here. Kind of like he would take, I would take. This is not hanging because my knight's defending, but, again, then I'd be opened up potentially. I considered even a silly move like bishop a3, which is the best. And then literally after like 8 minutes of looking at all these options, I knew that b5 didn't seem right because it looked like I would have a huge hole on c5, and it looked like a very weak pawn structure for me, just too many hanging pawns. And then I realized, wait, what's wrong with just taking the pawn? I was like, okay, I take, he takes to the rook. Is that so bad? Not really. All right, he can still play this move, but I have another move where I can like develop my bishop and things. I thought to myself, yeah, that's fine. So I played the best move. Then after 50 minutes, I just found b takes a, and I was like, I shouldn't have spent that much time on that. That's a pretty obvious move. I'm glad that it is the best move, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, Justin does something clever. He mixes up the move order. I just thought he would take the pawn back, which is the best move, but he plays knight c5 first, which I think is clever, because I thought he would go takes, I would play the bishop, preventing him from playing knight c5, because then I would basically trade those off, and I would completely ruin his pawns, having the center to myself. That was what I did in my head. So credit to him, he actually inverts the move order, and now he's immediately attacking the light square bishop. I now do a think, which is, do I care if he trades? And I decided, no, I don't care, because I thought that his piece is actually more active than mine. I'm blocked in by these pawns. It's not clear it's going to ever really come to life, at least not immediately. So I let him. I also figured if he takes, I'll take with my queen, I'll develop her in that regard. Fuck it, let's play bishop e3. In the recap as well, I think either he or Ben said that they didn't like this move because it invites f5, f4. But it's the right move. So I once again disagree with them. And the reason why, again, is obviously if he pushes, I don't really want to take. It's the whole idea of the King's Indian kind of exploding in my face, because then he opens up this long dial, and then all of a sudden it becomes a problem. But anyway, I digress. Those are the long-term lines. This is kind of the things that are going through my head. I'm trying to keep it kind of light. Justin wastes no time. He trades the knight first, actually. Knight takes bishop. Obviously, I take back. Only move. And the computer really says it's good. It's really not his best trade. And I thought that his knight was actually stronger. So I thought I accomplished something here. By the way, I'm playing, if it's not evidently clear, for the c5 break to break up his pawn chain, where I would leave his isolated pawn on e5, restricting his bishop. And then my idea, I still had possible ideas of the f4 push, but moreover, a c5 break, swinging my rook to c1 and attacking on the queen side. So that's what that's what was my long-term positional plan, for the record. It's kind of what I wanted to accomplish. Anyway, once I take back, now he takes the pawn, which I think is it's the right move. It's the best move here. And if you look at the computer, we're out of the opening. White enjoys a nice solid advantage. 0.6 is nothing to scoff at. I feel like I've accomplished what I wanted in the opening. I have a clear plan with what I want to try for, which is specifically playing for c5. I'm a little bit worried or considering these f5, f4 ideas. Oh, damn it. They wanted me to play a4. I actually was thinking about that move here. Yeah. Okay, well, I play another really good move. I think to myself, okay, let's leave the option to play f4 myself open. And the way to do it is I have to move my knight. It didn't really seem great on any of these other squares. And I thought if I swing it to d2, I have knight b3 with tempo attacking his rook. So based on that, like, the computer likes me swinging f to b1 right away to just claim the half-open file, which makes sense to me. Or playing a4 because would be protected by the knight, and that would allow me to move my A rook to B1. But I opt for the knight move, again, giving me flexibility to either launch F4, or, of course, put it on B3. Computer, once again, is always my harshest critic, but what can I say? However, once I move my knight here, I am too slow, and Justin wastes no time and immediately attacks with F5, which is just obviously the best move, and I had to do another fucking think. Yeah, God. All right, F3 was trying to be played. And you know what's funny is the two moves I was thinking about were C5 or F3. I thought that if he plays F3, I could be in trouble. F4, F3. So I need to stop that by playing F3 and locking it up. But in my mind, I thought if I don't play C5 here, he can play the move B6, forever putting the clamps on my C5 dream, and I thought that I would have nothing. According to the computer, I would still be considerably better, but I thought that I would invert the move order, because I thought if I played C5 and he played F4, I calculated takes, and I thought white was better there. So, and I thought that if he doesn't, and he slams a bing bong, and I open up, then he basically would have this hanging pawn, or not hanging, backwards, that's the word I'm looking for, backwards pawn on D6, and I thought that maybe I can still do a G3 or something to protect my king. However, that was a faulty calculation. I should have played F3 here, and I knew it as soon as I didn't make the move. So just for the record, I played the second best move, C5, which I don't think is a bad move, but it is an inaccuracy. And just to be clear, as far as rolling back, I should have played F3. I knew this, but I was worried about B6. And that is the best move, or it's one of the best moves according to the computer. Actually, they like slamming F4 here anyway, in which case I would then retreat the bishop, of course, to F2, which actually would have been kind of comfy there, and then he can play B6. And I thought that in this setup, it's funny, I saw this, and I thought that this wasn't that good, but I should have gone into it. I realized after the fact that I should have accepted this more than what happened, which is him being able to play the F4 idea first. I guess the reason this is okay is you can kind of expand on the queen side anyway with A4 ideas, and this pawn might be weak, jumping my knight in, I'm guessing. Yeah, knight B. Oh, they want to jump it in like that. Okay, to attack the... What is happening here? Oh, okay, a bunch of trades, and then you end up winning your knight onto C6 anyway. All right, interesting. Maybe I would have found that idea, but those were the two things that I was thinking about. The good news is those are the two best moves, and white is still not worse after C5, but I did realize the error of my ways, because again, Justin wastes no time. It's funny, his playstyle, and again, I think he watches these videos, so hi Justin, but he blitzes moves a lot, and when he doesn't blitz moves, sometimes he thinks in spots that I think that I thought were more obvious. So I'll get to a point where he finally uses his time. So far, he has really not used a lot of time. 15 moves in, but to his credit, he immediately plays the best move. He's sticking to his guns here. All right. Anyway, I play C5. He plays F4, and again, what I calculated is I thought that takes is good for me, but what the computer wants is an immediate. Oh, wow, I didn't see this. Immediate knight c4, and then takes, so that he doesn't have the... Wait. Well, I don't... Okay, I don't quite see why that's a little bit better. Alright, and then the computer takes... Alright, well, anyway. I'm basically saying, when I push, because I end up taking here, I play c takes d6. And the computer says he actually should go with the line that I calculated. It would be -1 for him. But he doesn't do that. He actually plays... No. Okay. No, they like his line. Never mind. What am I talking about? Okay, the line that I saw with F takes is good for me. So I guess I was right with that calculation. Unfortunately, he plays C takes on D6. And very clearly, that was a bit of an error in judgment. And in this position, I'm really regretting wishing I had played F3 myself, but realizing that I am simply worse here. No, this is not what's happening, because I do not get my bishop stuck. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Move 16 is when I play c5. I did the thing, guys. I did the thing where I made a mistake. All right. On move 15, I play knight b3 first. Oh, they don't like that at all. Huh. All right, here the decision is f3 or c5. But I play knight f5 first. Okay. Again, all these move order stuff. I figured I would attack the rook. If he takes, I would take. Probably with the knight, actually. And if he pushes, I would then take, and then he would take. And I thought that was good for me as well. So, okay, that was what was going on. Anyway, he immediately withdraws rook a8. Yeah, apparently, according to the computer, excellent move. Black is slightly better. By the way, when we went over the game in the recap, I think I did well in the opening, but it wasn't like I was significantly better. I think we both said at this position we both felt black was a little bit better. There's a certain point where Justin was saying that he thought that he was like massively better, and I thought that he was only a little bit better. So I'm curious what the evaluation will say in a few moves, because I'll point out the spot. Basically, wondering how screwed I was. I didn't think I was super screwed, but I definitely thought I was worse. So yeah, let's find out. Anyway, I played knight b3, played rook a8, and now I play c5. And again, and this is like all the stuff applies. I need to play f3. But again, I was worried about him being able to launch the b6. But I should have been a little bit more concerned about my king because I'm not attacking his king. So this was just me kind of going balls to the wall. Again, I calculated all like the takes, but like obviously that's like not good for him. This is the real threat, f4. And again, as soon as he nails this, I made the comment. The first time I played Justin, he beat me, and he had the exact it was a much different position. It was the London, but he ended up playing this like f5, f4, f3 idea that caused massive trouble and chaos for me. And I was kind of laughing a little bit on the board because it like the exact same thing occurred. And again, Justin's way up on time at this point. I've had two deep things, and my other moves, I'm definitely below the hour mark. He is clearly still above the hour mark at this point. Anyway, when he lands f4, I am very, very worried. And here's where, okay, I do go takes first. I did calculate takes in this spot, and I thought this was like totally fine for me. However, I am right. If he goes f takes, that is good for white. But he doesn't do that. He plays the best move. He goes c takes on d6. And I realize now, because obviously I have to go bishop d2. It is the best move. Now, and I play it immediately. Now I'm just worse. And yeah, and I was very unhappy about it. Now what's funny is this is the first position where Justin took like a long time. And in my mind, I thought f3 was just crushing the whole time. But what's funny is the computer actually likes g5 better, and it's significantly better. And I wonder if that's what he was thinking about, what Justin was thinking about. Or I think he was mentioning to me that he was thinking about like some kind of bishop move, maybe? I don't know. But that's funny. f3 is not that crushing. And again, for the record, I thought that I was down equivalent of like a pawn, like -1. This is close to the position where he thinks he's like super winning, and I thought I was just worse. And it looks like I'm just a little bit worse. But the best move in this position for black is actually g5. And I would have played f3 at that point, and then they're basically saying to monkey the pawns forward, and my king would be under a lot of pressure. I see that now. However, he doesn't do that. He plays the second best move, which was the move that I thought was obvious, but I'm wrong. g5 is better. But he didn't find g5, so I guess I appreciate that. So it looks like, oops, it's not my move. He slams f3. And the reason this is so scary is I obviously can't take. Taking is terrible. He comes in. I'm probably going to get mated if that happens. I can't take, again, for that reason that the bishop sweeps in and like he just gets a lot of play. I'm probably going to get mated. I thought playing g4, he would have sacked on me, and I thought I would have gotten mated there. I basically thought that I had to kind of ignore the fact that his pawn was staring at my face. And the computer agrees, or rather, the computer likes what I did, because I ended up playing what looks like one of the better moves here. So I feel pretty good about that. But, oh wait, no I don't. I have to play knight. What am I talking about? I don't play the best move. I have to play knight to b5 here for the counterplay to attack this pawn, I guess. Ew. Well, needless to say, I really wish that he let me play f3. I realized that my opportunity has passed, and I am just worse here, and I thought I was worse here by about a pawn. My king is under pressure. This is not the situation I wanted, and I lash out with bishop to g5. Now, the computer says this is quite a bad move. Quite a bad move. I thought that basically he would push, I would go here, he would push, I would lock it up, and I would have some kind of kingside defense. And basically, you know, at some point, I would either be able to take or, you know, run with my king, or like bring my rook over, something like that. All right, well, you know, you live and you learn. Chess is interesting. So anyway, when I play bishop g, and really, that is interesting. I need to monkey my, or just ignore and move my rooks. Wow. I guess to like buy a square for my king, I suppose. I always wanted to play a4, and I never quite could find it. And it's always consistently pretty good move. So I clearly made a mistake because I was thinking about a4 a lot. All right, anyway, I play bishop g5. I thought that this was like kind of slowing him down for the time being. And, you know, it is what it is. However, Justin follows through with like a very clear plan, chasing my bishop. He plays h6. I'm curious if I'm supposed to trade or if I'm supposed to back up and follow to my plan. I don't trade. All right, I'm glad. I play e3. I kind of let him walk me down, kind of get his pressure on me. He plays g5. I obviously play the only move, which is bishop to g3. And yeah, all right, interesting. So yeah, the computer does say he is, so maybe this was the position that we were talking about. Before, I was not even -1, but now it's like almost -3, -2.7 or something. That's not good for the hero of the story at all. All right, now is when Justin relieves the tension. He plays f takes on g2. I assume I have to play king takes because I have to defend this pawn. And now all of a sudden I see the threat, and now I kind of wish that I traded the bishop for the knight, because if he can jump in here, first off, this is a fork, and I kind of have to trade, and then I thought that he would open up the position and I'd be torn to shreds. And there isn't really much I can do about it. Anyway, and unfortunately his plan, just sometimes it's pretty clear, knight to g6. It's very, very good. He was saying as well that maybe he should have played queen to d7. I would have played rook to h1, but it just doesn't seem very good for black. And I thought that I was holding, but I knew I went wrong, and I knew it was allowing this f5, f4, f3, and I needed to play f3 myself. And I was really beating myself up this whole point. All right. Anyway, he goes knight g6 with the idea, of course, of getting into f4. I'm wondering if I can allow that. I realize I don't have much of a choice. I was considering a king move, so that if he plays here, I could then just move my queen. But then in all those lines, he's attacking my h-pawn, and I thought if that falls, then like his pawns he just shoves on me, and my king is really all the way over here. So I thought I had to let him. So yeah, so I find a decent move, not the best move, but almost the best move, f3, basically saying that he would check me with the knight, I would trade. I assumed he was going to open up his bishop with e takes f. He'd have this really strong diagonal now. I saw some ideas where he could even, like, you know, go for the pawn or whatnot. But really, I was, you know, I was not crazy about it. I'd like bring it in. I thought my position was barely holding in that position. All right. Anyway, yeah. So there's not much I can do. You know, sometimes that's the way it is. Sometimes there's not much you can do. You kind of have made your bed, and now you got to lay in it. Anyway, I play f3. I was thinking that if I can lock these pawns together, conceptually, if his attack fails, I'm still thinking his bishop is bad, his other bishop is bad, so maybe my pieces are more active than his. I mean, not so much this bishop, but then maybe I could argue that I'm not that much worse. I am definitely very, very worse in this position. All right, you know, you'll live and learn. Anyway, he follows through. Ooh, it's not the best plan. All right. He plays knight f4 check. Oh, so this is where he gives back the advantage. Maybe this is the position where we're talking about where I said I was anywhere between -1 and -2, and he thought it was worse. But interesting. So the idea here is he should actually just bring the queen in or shove h5, like the threat of h5, h4, things like that. Because if I have to backtrack my bishop, I then block the rook over. Okay, so those are the subtle attacking ideas that make his attack far stronger. Instead, he is impatient. He wastes no time trading or, you know, checking me. I trade, and yeah, that's kind of that's like, all right. So interestingly, he plays the better move. The whole time I was calculating, I thought e takes was obvious. I'm wrong. He plays the better move. But I thought that he needed to get his bishop in the game. Instead, he plays g takes. And in my mind, so this is where we were talking about I said -1 to -2. I think here. The reason why is this pawn is well hanging. Maybe because basically he can check. If I back up, he moves something like down over there, attacking this pawn. It's a very strong battery, so I probably have to run. Basically, I'm prepared to give up a pawn. And I thought I was giving up a pawn, but I'm getting an open file and some attack on his king. His pieces are kind of stuck behind my pawns. I really didn't think it was that bad here. Again, I knew I was worse, but I'm surprised that it's this bad, almost -2. Anyway, it is what it is. He plays G takes F4, and I decide I probably need to run with my king. They like the rook to G1, which was the other move I was thinking of. Bummer, and I play king F2. So I'm just playing bad moves here. I'm just playing bad. I'm just playing badly, Oh no, now they're saying my move is best. Okay, screw you, computer. You're always tricking me. All right, so I actually made the best move. Good for me. All right. In response, I really thought that he could maybe grab the pawn, but it's somewhat poisoned here. In fact, it's not even close to one of the best moves, because I thought that I would get some sufficient counterplay. Yeah, okay, the computer sees what I see, or I see what the computer sees, which is rook h1. He'd kind of bring it. We did talk about this briefly after the game, and we both agreed that it's kind of hairy. Without taking, his attack is pretty strong. So, again, he has this queen check and infiltrating my position. So I really was not very happy with it. However, he doesn't do that. He plays bishop to d7, which is definitely a slow move. He's kind of giving me a chance. It is getting it off of the opening square, the opening, he's developing his bishop finally. And I realized his idea was probably if he checks and I run here, he maybe has this skewer at some point. Not now. I'm defending that pretty well, but at least in the future. At least that's what I thought he was going for. This doesn't work because it gets taken. But again, if it's being able to be supported, that's one way I could lose the game. Or at least so I thought. Anyway, when he plays the bishop here, I figure I need to probably keep running with my king. Just running as fast as you can, just trying to get away. And they do like king e2 a little bit better, just kind of setting that up. I play king e1, which is a bit worse. My idea here is if he checks, I'm going to just keep on running. Keep it on. But I should have actually moved it to e2, and I get that now. I'm just being a little bit sloppy here. Poppy was sloppy. All right. Now, he goes with the best move. And the whole time I thought that he was going to bring his queen to the king side and attack me that way. But the computer likes his plan a lot. He plays queen b6, bearing down. It's kind of scary. I don't love having my king in the middle of the board when queens and both rooks are on, a lot of the heavy pieces. I feel like the chess maximum, my king is clearly less safe than his. I'm not actually down a pawn yet, but I feel like he could take the pawn at any point. So I felt considerably worse here. I didn't feel lost, though, but I did not like my position. That is for sure. I play knight d2, which is not a good move. Do I really play knight d2? I do. My thinking here was I needed counterplay. My knight is defending this pawn, and I thought that I could play rook b1 and I could try to attack. And at the moment, I saw everything was kind of holding because my queen's kind of defending everything. And he doesn't yet have a clear way of infiltrating into the position on that side of the board. So, all right, that's why I played knight d2. Computer hates my move, so I just suck. My accuracy is going to be terrible this game. And he plays rook f to c8. All right. And yeah, that's not good for me. Wait, were they looking for a sacrifice? Yeah, they're okay. Now the computer's saying he's just take the pawn. So it's funny. I told him that I thought him. Okay, I'll use fewer pronouns and more proper nouns, if you will. All right. I told Justin that I thought that definitely at the mid game there was some point where he was very smart not to take my pawn initially, and the computer really liked him not taking the pawn initially. But at a certain point, this is that point. He probably should just cannibalize the pawn and just play a pawn up with a still very comfortable position. For whatever reason, he doesn't do that. And instead, he develops his rook on the open file. He's kind of giving me a little bit of time. Obviously, his idea or his threat is to bear up, just bear down on the knight. So I didn't like that, especially because it's not that easy to stop. I stick to my plan of rook b1. Again, it's defended. My knight is still defending the a pawn. And my idea is maybe long-term, I'm going to be able to run it on down the b file and make good things happen. He wastes no time. Apparently, so this is crazy. Apparently, he should trade queens. Trade, I would take, he would take, and then I guess in that line my knight would be under attack, I'd probably have to move it to b3. Oh, it's just a simple tactic. Because he would win... Because he'd win a knight that way. Well, we both missed this. Alright. Alright! I guess he's attacking. He probably doesn't think that he wants to trade queens, but in that line, he... I mean, I get some pawns for it, but if you guys see what, happening, if he checks, I take, he takes. Now, unfortunately, both knights would be under attack, and the square that I'd want them on would be b1 to support each other, but that would be taken by the rook. So I could, sacrifice, or I could take this pawn, and then he'd be able to, take one, and I would take back. So I would win a couple pawns for it, but... yeah, only a couple. Obviously, that would have been his best move. So we both missed the tactic. It is what it is. Rook b1. He plays queen c7. He's kind of dead set on his original idea. It's not like this is bad. He's still, I'm still under a lot of pressure. I play rook b3. Finally, the best move. I haven't played the best move in many moves. My idea is I'm just super strong here. If I can bring my king up and double up, I have real play, real pressure. And again, I just thought maybe, defending the key squares, these pawns are kind of boxing in his bishop. I thought maybe, holdable. Around this time, Justin started to finally use some time, by the way, number one. I think I'm still down on time here. I got down to 26 minutes or something. But also, he knocked his king over, and I said, "Oh, I win." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not taking a draw." He's like, "No, I don't think I'm resigning from this position." And I said, "I don't think I can blame you for that." So that was a little bit of levity in the middle of the game where he's just considerably better from this position. Anyway, I play rook b3. In response, he plays bishop to f6. And it's one of the best moves, and it really shows the one thing that's going against him is how bad this bishop is, just staring at these pawn walls. And it's not easy for him to get into the game. Again, his idea is to play bishop check on h4, then it's actually doing something. I decide to prophylactically... nope, not yet. I go rook g1 check first. And I now have some vague notion of bringing my queen down and then swinging it up to maybe have some, again, counterplay. Maybe. He plays king h7. It seemed like the best move, but apparently it's not. Apparently it's better on h8. Again, these are things that I don't really understand, but it seemed like the right move because he's taking away different checks. I obviously have no checks here because I'm blocked by my pawn. I'm not so active here either. I now break the prophylactic move, or I play the prophylactic move, moving away from his potential check. I play king e2. What a relief! That is in fact the best move in the position. Good. And he just decides that now is a good time to trade rooks. He plays rook g8. I was actually a little bit surprised about this because I thought that he shouldn't have done this. And this is okay. So this is the move where Justin throws away his big attack. I thought that for sure he should keep rooks on the board because he has them on good files. He has the battery already on an open file. He's also pressuring this pawn, which is on the second file, which is doing at the moment tenuously defended by my knight. When he alleviates that by playing the rook to g8, I immediately trade. I waste no time. And I think I told him after the game, we agreed. It was somewhere around here where I said I thought I kind of equalized. And and it looks like the computer agrees with it. Because I don't know if it was here or a move or two later. Anyway, I waste no time. Move 32. I go rook takes. Great move. Thank you. He plays rook takes. And and now I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, it's after the next move I played I thought I was better. Or not better, but fine. So how did I fuck this up? Because I did not do queen c4. Well, we both must have missed a tactic. Another one. I played queen b1, thinking that I'm gutting down on this b pawn, which is really bad news for him. I thought I was taking away him being able to move his own rook to the g file. And I thought that if he checks me here, I could run up, and I'm taking away all the checks, as well as this one. So my king was oddly enough very safe. My knight on d2 was defending my f3 square, so I thought everything was kosher. All right, so how is this a blunder? What did we miss? Apparently, I'm just lost here, totally. So what the fuck did I miss here? Well, he plays rook g2, check. I play king d3. What is going on here? And Justin goes into a big think, and I guess he plays an inaccurate move here. He plays. What does he do here? He plays rook g2 check. I play king d3. He plays bishop c8. Oh, yes! This is where he made a mistake. Okay, great. Yeah, I told him after the game I thought he was too passive. He was responding to his pawn, and I thought he needed to say screw it and just start attacking me. The computer says if he plays queen c5, his attack is crushing. I mean, he's like threatening a whole lot of heebie-jeebie-weebies that I guess I don't really have a way of stopping. Basically, I can't take that. But this move, I guess it's all about counterplay. He takes his foot off the gas. He plays bishop c8, and this is just a big mistake. He missed the win. All right. Well, I mean, so far this game looks like this was just not a well-played game by either of us. We both missed a lot. I had a lot on my mind this game, not gonna lie, but no excuses for chess. Sitting down, I did use a lot of time, so it is what it is. I still tried my best, even though I don't think this was my best. In response, I played what looks like the best idea. I actually thought that queen f1 was not good because he would then be able to play this. So I play queen h1 first, attacking the rook, trying to bounce it, getting out of here. The computer thinks that's pretty solid. Justin retreats with rook g7. Again, I'm down to like 20 minutes and change, and this is the first time around move 36 or so where Justin slips below me on time. So he's finally the one in time trouble. I'm making pretty fast moves, and I'm not getting punished. So, all right. After he plays rook to g7, the computer really does like my idea. I play the best move. I play queen c1, and my plan was very clear. I wanted to maneuver to h3, try to infiltrate the position, get in there, counterplay. My king felt oddly safe here. My knight is kind of holding everything together. And if I can get this battery rolling or dislodge his bishop, I thought I had real counterattacking chances. So, awesome. Yeah. All right. Justin plays queen c5, but he's late to the party with this move. I feel like with his rook, when his rook was here, this was a really strong threat. Apparently, again, this is another case where he honestly should have just gobbled the pawn because now that his rook is back defending the b pawn, he doesn't need it to be a protector anymore. So I did think that. I didn't think that he wasn't utilizing like the activity of his bishops, in the end game. All right. Nonetheless, I stick to the plan. I play the best move, queen a3. I think to myself that we need to get these queens off the board. I'm like, he should have traded. I would have traded, and then I would have had an active rook. And I thought that in lines where he doesn't trade, all of a sudden, if I can take and he can take, I have a win condition with a pushing a pawn. So yeah, so that's exactly what happens. By the way, he plays queen d4 check, which is just too late to the party here. He's still better. I did say after the game that I thought around here, I thought I was better in this position. And he says he thinks I'm better a move or two later. So I guess he's right. I make the only move, of course. If I went to e2, that would be a checkmate. I'm not going to mate myself. I play to king c2. Great move. Now he goes back with rook to g2. And I did see this defense. This was not a lucky defense. I saw the cool, calm, collected knight b1. And this is the position he said that he thought that he was no longer better. And I thought I was better because he has no attack. His pieces, he cannot coordinate them to get around to kind of attack my my fortress. And I thought I was going to be active and again start causing problems. So, all right, after being basically -2-ish, not 2 and change for 25 moves or so, I've finally equalized. I don't think I've played great, but Justin's also failed to put me away. All right. And at this point, he is now considerably lower on time than me. I am not quite... Maybe I'm in seconds, minutes and seconds, so that's 19 and change or so. But he's definitely getting low. And I think the reason why is his attack has stalled. It's really hard for him to find a continuation. What is he even doing with his rook? I move my knight back. He ends up playing... what does he do here? He goes queen c5 check. And he's just forcing the queens off. And again, as soon as this happens, I couldn't have been happier. I waste no time. I trade. He obviously takes back with a D pawn. He's not going to give me a free queen. And I think to myself, oh, I'm better. White's better here. Now, according to the computer, again, that is simply not the case. But I thought that basically I can get my rook possibly behind this pawn. I can just push it. I have an active knight. I can move to like c3 and start jumping. His bishops are like really tied down, and his rook isn't really doing anything on the second. So that's kind of what I was thinking, you know? The simple plan. Sometimes simple plans are the best plans. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, he takes back. I play rook b6 first, which I realized... So I blitzed this move, and I realized I made a mistake. I didn't like this move as soon as I played it. Yeah, I told him because I saw bishop d8 as soon as I played it. I thought I'd just have to go back, giving him like a free tempo. But to my shock, to my horror, to my surprise, he doesn't play it. Justin spends, like, he doesn't have that much time now at this point. He you know, again, maybe let's say he has 15 minutes. He spends at least 5 minutes on this move. And he draws his rook back to g6. And I am very surprised he played this. I kind of missed the best move. And again, now I'm blitzing. I'm using the clock as a weapon. And yeah, and I play what seems to be the obvious move in the position. I play knight c4. And the reason why, I am now threatening to play d6. He can't really trade, and if he ever trades, I can take back, and immediately he's under pressure. I'm possibly threatening to win a pawn, but moreover, I want to push. If he ever brings it back, I can just now develop my b knight to d2, and my knights are accomplishing a lot. I thought if I can remove this pawn, I can just basically go a4, a5, kind of into a queen, and I thought that I was clearly winning here. Computer doesn't say I'm clearly winning at all, so unfortunately my friend must have made a mistake very, very soon. All right, I play knight c4. He plays bishop g3. What? Bishop g... What move is this? All right, I wrote down a move, but I don't know what my... I think this is... I think maybe... Is that a B? Is that a G? Is that a 3? God, my writing is terrible. Bishop g3. That's not possible. This is g3, everybody. So that's clearly not possible. So what the hell move did he make here? I thought he should have gone bishop to g8 for the record. Or d8, I suppose. Yeah, bishop d8. But he doesn't do that either. I really need to write more clearly because I have no fucking clue what move Justin made here. Well, I ended up going rook b5 in response, so I'm gonna just assume. I don't think he did this. I don't know. Let's say he goes there. I think this is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think he really did that, but maybe he did. Maybe he did that. I don't know. All right. Anyway, I play rook b5 very, very quickly. It's definitely one of the best moves. My thinking is if I can get him to push, I can then push d6, kind of stopping him off. I would then win a free pawn. He has no way of stopping my a pawn. It's really the a pawn that's the threat, not the d pawn. But they're both threats, basically. And at this point, Justin's time continues to click and clack, even down. He uses another like 5 minutes he really doesn't have, and he plays b6. On his time, I was calculating. I thought this was losing, and the reason why is I thought I could play an immediate d6. Computer does like this plan, yeah. Justin's really, really low on time. He finally plays bishop takes on h3, but I think it's a little bit late to the party. I now play rook takes. Seemed like the obvious move. White is in great shape at this point. Nearly essentially winning. Plays bishop to d7, trying to just blockade the pawn. This does not work though. I play rook b7, and yeah. Before he goes, I think right around this time, he was down to like a minute, and no, less than that. He gets down to 10 seconds, and he says, whoa, time out. He wasn't the tournament director, but I was like, what? And he like speeds off. He goes to get Steven. And the reason why, to his credit, he was absolutely right, is when I had entered. Remember, I said that I had a little story about the clock. When I had entered the clock, because it was turned to like an hour, I did an hour and a half and then 5-second bonus. But apparently, with the first bonus, that's seconds that you add to the initial time. So Justin and I was neither of us. Okay, terrible English. Neither of us was getting bonus 5 seconds. So he had played 46 moves or so, and he should have had essentially another 2 minutes. He got down to and I said, look, you should get the other 2 minutes if you want it. Like, I mean, I knew at this point the game is over. Like at this point, but the right thing to do is, he should have taken the time. And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, no, I'll just blitz it out. Like, it's fine. So we had Steven come over, and it took like 5 minutes to reset up the clock, kind of set it up, because at this point we had written down at this point I had 15 minutes and 15 seconds, and he had 10 seconds. Neither of us was getting the 5-second increment, by the way. In any event, so what ends up happening is we then resume play. Start. He plays Bishop A4 check. I take like a moment. I play King C3. Thinking that I can now maybe like march my king up. Apparently this is like not that accurate. It's actually kind of curious how much worse it is. Oh, I guess I should move it over like that. All right, whatever. I didn't think it mattered that much, to be honest, but I get sloppy in these spots. He plays Rook E6, and after Rook E6, I play D7. He takes with the bishop. I take, and he resigns. So so I ended up winning this one. He resigned roughly around here, I think. And he resigns. I mean, the reason why is obviously I'm up a full piece. My position is strong. I have a passed pawn that I'll probably just be able to queen as well. He's down to 10 seconds. So, all right. So what do I think about this game? Let's find out. This is a 50-minute recap. I don't think I played that well. I'm going to be honest. There were a few moments in the game where I wasn't really even thinking about chess. I was just thinking about my cat. And I'm thrilled that I kind of hung in there, that I didn't play great. Justin definitely missed a few wins, a few attacks, but I hung in there long enough where my opponent made a mistake, and I was able to counterattack and capitalize from it. So I think that's pretty good. I am curious how bad the accuracy is going to be. Let's add this to game collection. No, not the Fall Foliage. We're going to go the Boylston Chess Club October Swiss. This is the third game. And let's just do a quick review. I would say my opening was fine. I had some good ideas. I made the mistake kind of missing. I still played at 82% accuracy, which isn't terrible. But really, I think Justin's going to beat himself up on this one. Because, in the mid game where it looked not good for me, it was like -1 or something, but he did have a few positions, like for a good solid amount of this game, at least 10 moves, maybe 20 even, he had like a -2 advantage, which is pretty significant. And I guess I just defended. I kind of got back. I neutralized. I blundered that he didn't spot. We both didn't spot the tactic, for the record. And then when I came back, I was able to counterattack and win. I guess that Chess.com still doesn't give me any blunders for any moves, which is nice. They just give a bunch of mistakes. All right. I mean, I guess they're not always critical. A few great moves, too. And I got kind of, whether it's lucky or whatnot, Justin definitely missed a few wins. The clock ended up being a big ally for me, which is nice, and I'll take it. Again, I don't think this is my finest game. I've seen Justin play like enough now against other people and whatnot. He seems to be not wild, but his results vary. I think he's a good player, but I don't think he played that well against me tonight. I'm sure that he would say the same. I think there are a few moves that if he found, I definitely would not have been able to come back. But he put on just not enough pressure for me to keep holding, if that makes sense. So hopefully that doesn't sound like I'm beating up on the guy for not beating me, but honestly, I'm very happy to get the win. I kind of needed it. So we move on from here. Let me very quickly just check out. This means I have 1 win, 1 draw, and 1 loss in this in the October quads. Why is this not listed? Why are they not quads? Rather Swiss, excuse me. Let's find out real quickly. I know this is going to change. I was supposed to play this guy, but he got a random buy. I might play my friend Zane. My guess is it'll probably get mixed up. I'm glad that they're giving me white again because I've already played 2 blacks in this tournament. So it'd be nice to get a second white. I don't think there's any chance that I can medal. There's no chance for me to win a prize. But it looks like I'm not embarrassing myself. I'm on 1.5. That seems pretty good. I can finish the tournament with 2.5. Can't argue with that. We'll see who I end up playing. No complaints. This does mean that so far, losing to Mike Brown, who is post 1700, damn, that I'm right now gaining rating because I drew with Joe, who was a little bit higher rated than me, and I beat Justin, who as well is a little bit higher rated than me, at least for the moment. All right, cool. I'll end here. I'm not going to go through all the matchups. I'll have to add this to my spreadsheet, that sort of thing. I'm just happy I got the win. Not my finest game, not my best. My mind was on other things, but next week I will try to play better, and we'll go from there. All right, have a good one, everybody.